Welcome to today's webinar, Managing AI Projects with Confidence. I just said it. We have almost 200 registrations for today. And of course, even if not everyone could join live, we are truly happy to see so many of you here. And thank you for making the time. And your presence shows just how important this topic is right now and why it's the perfect moment to have this conversation. So I'm also delighted to see both new names and also familiar faces. And for me, it really feels like a community coming together. And when I say we, I really mean we, because I'm not alone today. As you can see already, I'm joined by my friend and co-moderator Frank Tessone from Vision Education, which is PMI's #1 ATP in Europe. So my name is Markus Kopko, and I have the privilege of guiding you through today's sessions as one of the very first instructors for the upcoming brand new CPMAI instructor-led trainings. But Frank, would you like to briefly introduce yourself?
Timmy, and I hope also the audience can see and hear me. What I have to say more to my person. I am more than 30 years in the project management business, and we are happy to be here with you. We are working together since years, and I am really quite happy that actually I promoted it that at the end. I have also some goodies for the participants from the webinar, and to work with you together in all the AI topics. We had some really cool XXL workshops as really well-known telecommunication providers here in Germany. I will not say the name. It's located in Bonn, but nevertheless, actually we are going on. And now, since few weeks, we are the first PMI ATP offering the CPMAI certification. That's why we are here. That I support you with little help, maybe with the chats. And it's nothing more to say about me. Let's get a move on with the really cool content and what you have prepared. And I'd be happy to be here. And I'm waiting for good discussions.
Thank you, Frank. Before I proceed with the presentation, I have just seen in the comments a few people seems to have slightly technical issues. Not sure what the problem is here. Can someone please confirm once again? Can you hear and see us? Okay. Well, I hope so, that everyone can see and hear us. Like I said, the session is recorded and will be provided afterwards also. Okay, someone is confirming. That's great. Cool. So once again, thank you very much, Frank. And yes, you will also have another opportunity later to connect with the both of us if you haven't already. But now let's get straight to the topic. Today, there will be no buzzword bingo. Instead, we'll talk clearly about why so many AI initiatives fail or burn money, and how we as project professionals can manage this better in the future. And just to give you a little bit context, Forbes recently ranked CPMAI among the top certifications in the AI field, besides a few more technical related certifications. So CPMAI seems, the one, maybe the only one at the moment, which is more focused on the management of AI initiatives. And that's great news, right? But even more important is the practical value. So what can a CPMAI bring to our projects, programs, and portfolios right now? That's what we want to talk about today. So here's what you can...
1 second, Markus, 1
expect.
second, please.
Yes.
I see there is a record error. Is it the same on your side? I can only read Aufnahmefehler, but maybe it's only in my screen.
I don't see that. I don't see that. Everything seems fine from my side.
Yeah, okay. So then continue, please. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so once again, so here's what you can expect today. The tough reasons why AI projects often fail. What CPMAI really delivers, the 6 phases you need to master, the 7 AI patterns every project management professional should know about nowadays, the trustworthy AI guardrails you must consider, and of course the training and certification path, and finally, if you like, some clear next steps for you. So before we dive in, let me ask a couple of quick questions. You can simply drop your answers in the chat. First one is, do you currently have an AI project in your portfolio or your pipeline? So, and what status is it? So is it yes, no, in planning, whatever status you have? Just put it in the chat. And maybe even more important, if you already had exposure to an AI project, what was your biggest challenge so far? That would be very interesting to speak about. And we'll pick up on these later during the Q&A session. And speaking of Q&A, if you already have questions to us about CPMAI and the topic, don't wait, just type them also into the chat at any time, and we will make sure to address them later. Thank you for sharing. All right, so let's really get started now. And let's look at the numbers. A large percentage of AI projects fail to meet expectations. And which is not on the slide now, but I just read, I think yesterday or the day before, a news from Gartner, which says that they would expect more than 40% of the projects, AI projects, will be put on hold or even cancelled till the end of next year. And why is that? So many companies have already put their first initiatives on hold or cancelled. And only a small fraction of that projects managed to make the leap from pilot to stable operation. And why am I sharing this? It's not to shock you, well, maybe a little bit, but to frame the problem clearly. And this is rarely a tool problem or an IT problem. It's most often a management problem. Too often, we try to manage AI projects like traditional software or app development. But AI is different. It's data-centric, it's probabilistic, and it's highly iterative. And if we approach it with a traditional mindset, with a traditional approach, then time, budget, and expectations almost always clash. So what's our goal today? To highlight this crucial distinction and to show you a practical approach that can turn AI experiments into reliable value creation. Let's focus on 3 key points. First, methodology. In data projects, it's not the tools, but data access and data quality that truly drive effort, risk, and success. So your planning, your estimates, your scope must be built with this reality in mind. Second, agile. Scrum remains incredibly valuable for AI initiatives, but only if you adapt it. That means data owners, data-defined iterations, clear artifacts for data preparation, and a strong governance gates. So without these, you are not planning for progress. You're planning for fiction. And third, trust and governance. Think of black box effects, bias, traceability, and security. These are not nice to haves. They are essential go-live criteria. So to use an analogy here, if a classic project management plan is a city map, then in the AI jungle, you don't just need a map, you need a compass, a machete, and a guide. And this is exactly where CPMAI comes in. Now, just to clear up a common misconception. CPMAI does not stand for Certified Project Management for AI or certified anything. It actually stands for Cognitive Project Management for AI. And that word, cognitive, is important. Why? Because AI systems are not deterministic like traditional software. They are learning, adaptive, and probabilistic. And managing them requires a very different mindset. And that's actually what CPMAI is built for. CPMAI is vendor neutral, iterative, and data first. It builds on CRISP DM. You may have heard that before. CRISP DM stands for Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining, which was originally developed in the late 90s by a consortium including IBM and Daimler Chrysler. And CRISP DM is still the most widely used framework in data science today. By combining the proven foundation of CRISP DM with agile principles and data ops practices, CPMAI creates a clear life cycle, as you can see here on the right, taking you all the way from underlying business problem to stable operations. And here's something important. CPMAI is not a tool, and it's also not a competitor to your proven methods. Think of it as an operating system. It connects your tools and your project management practice into one consistent framework. And the goal? Reproducible, trustworthy results that work in production, not just in shiny proof of concept. So the CPMAI lifecycle or CPMAI methodology is built on 6 clearly defined sequential phases. But remember, these phases are not strictly linear. You're meant to iterate and adapt as you go. Let's quickly walk through the loop. So phase 1, business understanding. What problem are we solving? What questions are we clarifying? Which KPIs matter? And is AI truly necessary? Here is where the AI go, no-go decision happens. This phase ensures business goals aligned with technical direction and avoids wasted effort by validating if AI is the right tool. Phase 2, data understanding. So what data do we need? And how much of it? And where does it come from? Do we have the data already in our systems, in our databases? Or do we need to buy it, maybe? Or to create it? And how good is it? So exploring the data landscape, including accessibility and governance, prevents nasty surprises downstream. Phase 3, data preparation. And this is where the heavy lifting happens. Cleaning the data, structuring the data, labeling it, and documenting the data. This phase, along with phase 2, typically consumes the lion's share of AI project effort. Some sources speak about up to 80% of the effort is taken by these two phases. Phase 4 is model development. And you can see, so till then, we haven't even talked about AI algorithms or something like that. Phase 4 is model development. There is where the AI solution building happens. Talking about baselines, training the model, tuning, and tracking experiments. And then phase 5 is model evaluation. So there happens the testing for technical and business fit, fairness of the model, robustness, security, all those kind of things. And finally, there is phase 6, which is operationalization. And that is really a difficult word for me. It's even difficult in German language. So operationalization, going live, deployment, monitoring, retraining of the model, and managing change. That's an ongoing thing. And these 6 stages or phases are designed to be iterative, allowing you to circle back as needed when new data arises or new insights throughout the project. You always can go back and reiterate. And on the other hand, after each phase or at the end of each phase, there's always a hard gate, a hard go or no-go decision. Because failing early is intentional in that approach. It protects your budget and your credibility. And here comes an insider tip. A strong grasp of those 6 phases, along with solid go, no-go checklists and the knowledge about those checklists, is not just essential for project execution, it's also key for CPMAI certification success. The 7 AI patterns, you may have heard about them before. So the 7 patterns act like a shortcut in project planning. They help us make sense of AI use cases. Let's walk through a few examples. Conversational human interaction. So think chatbots or Gen AI assistants. I'm sure that a lot of you, maybe even if not all, have already utilized ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, you name it. Gen AI assistants. And you will need large volumes of text data for such kind of solutions and prompt governance. Another pattern is pattern and anomaly detection. That's very common in fraud detection projects or outlier analysis or quality monitoring. And here key is dense, labeled time series or event data. And the last example here is hyper-personalization, which maybe relates most to the most of you, because think of recommendation systems like with Amazon or Netflix or next best action engines. These need broad behavioral, contextual, and profile data. So you can see each of those patterns have other needs, right? And the other patterns are recognition, predictive analytics, and decision support, goal-driven systems, and autonomous systems. So here's the critical insight. Mapping your use case to one of these patterns gives you instant clarity on data needs, complexity, and risks involved. which speeds up planning and keeps your project grounded from the start. So if multiple patterns apply, you just combine them like building blocks. But here's something just as important. AI is not always the answer. Nowadays, you can get the impression that everything can be done and should be done with AI. So that's not the case. That's still not the case. If your business problem you're trying to solve doesn't align with at least one of these patterns, that's a strong signal AI may not be the best solution here. These patterns don't just help you plan faster, they also help you filter where AI makes sense and where it doesn't. Because sometimes the smartest choice is not to go the AI route. So if you bring AI into production, it's not just about data and models. It's first and foremost about trust. Trust from stakeholders, from customers, from users, and yes, also from regulators. This is why PMI frames trustworthy AI around 5 core dimensions. Ethical, systems are developed responsibly and aligned with ethical values. Responsible, clear roles, responsibilities, and escalation paths ensure no one slips through the cracks. Transparent, decisions, data sources, and models must be documented in a way that everyone, not just data science, not just the experts, everyone understands. Governed, controls, policies, and audits make sure the system actually meets the standards. And finally, explainable. We must be able to explain in simple terms why a model made a particular decision. These 5 pillars form the multi-layered structure of a trustworthy AI framework. And here's the key takeaway. CPMAI forces us to address these dimensions from day one in the project, not just at go live time. Only then can you deliver a solution that isn't just technically sound, but truly be trusted, supported, and sustainable. So what does that look like in practice? Let's take a project in the fraud detection domain. At the kickoff, the business simply asks for a fraud AI system. With CPMAI, we stop and clarify. So what's the specific KPI? What ROI do we expect? And finally, what's the MVP, the minimum viable product? Small but measurable. Then comes the reality check. We discover, remember, phase 2, that the relevant data is spread across several systems and is inconsistent. We just can't utilize it for our project. Result, instead of rushing ahead, we first set up a mini project, sub-project, you name it, for data consolidation. Once that's done, we move into the first iterations. And the initial model only reaches 70% of target values. Remember, KPIs. But no need to panic. This is exactly why the life cycle is iterative. So we return to phase 2 or 3, try to gain more data, try to improve the data quality, or maybe even to phase 4 to refine our model strategy if necessary. And finally, the model improves to 96% accuracy in model evaluation phase and then goes live, operationalization. But not blindly. It's launched with a monitoring plan for model drift, bias alerts, and a retraining process, a retraining pipeline. You need to ensure throughout your project always that you have a retraining pipeline in place Otherwise, you will soon get in trouble. And that's what sustainable project success looks like. The difference is clear. We don't just deliver a model. We create measurable business value. Just to give a brief example. So if you want to systematically implement CPMAI, you can become, of course, officially certified. And the certification path includes compact training, instructor-led training of 4 days. It comes with a comprehensive workbook, including a blank version and also a completed example, plus around 100 practice questions to deepen your understanding and train for the exam. So now let's talk about the exam. Currently, the format is either 100 or 120 questions. So in the official exam content outline, you still find 100 questions, of which 90 are graded. And that's exactly how it was in my exam when I done it. In the new materials, however, it already shows 120 questions with 20 ungraded. So I guess this will likely be updated soon, but maybe Frank can highlight that in a moment, because he has much better connections to PMI than I do. So either way, the exam takes about 2 hours and covers all the core domains from business understanding and data preparation to trustworthy AI. And here's the crucial point. This certification is not about coding, right? It's about whether you can ask the right questions and pull the decisive, another difficult word for me, sorry, management gates. So that's exactly what CPMAI tests and what makes it so valuable for project and program professionals. So what does CPMAI mean for you personally? Imagine the difference like this. An AI-ready project manager knows the buzzwords, hopes the data somehow fits, and ends up managing a black box, and in the end delivers a model. An AI-relevant leader with CPMAI knowledge and certification, on the other hand, deliberately applies the 7 patterns we have talked about, enforces data checks in phase 2, creates transparency and governance, and delivers not just a model, but real, measurable, and scalable business value. So with CPMAI, you can speak both languages, the language of the C-suite and the language of data science. And this is exactly the role that is missing in most AI projects, AI initiatives today. And it's what makes you strategically indispensable. So if you feel ready to take the next step, here's what's coming up. Starting in late October, November, Frank will talk a little bit more in detail about this in a second. We're launching the very first instructor-led CPMAI exam prep courses. At the moment, there's only the online on-demand course. This is very new, launched by PMI probably in the next month. So these courses will feature small groups for focused learning. I think about maximum 12 seats or something like that. Frank, maybe you can also elaborate that in a second. It will feature real-world use cases you can immediately relate to. Of course, a clear focus on the current version 7 of CPMAI, plus exclusive materials, templates, community access to support you in both, not only learning, but also implementation. And important for those who join early, and especially for you today, for all the participants here, there are a few special benefits. Like early bird conditions, we talk about 20% discount here right now. The prices are also not fixed, so I cannot name an amount yet, but you will definitely get those 20%, whatever it is. An optional one-on-one consultation with me to clarify further questions if you have some. Our curated resource list to accelerate your preparation. There is, by the way, when you read through the CPMAI exam content outline, there is written that PMI provides no reference list like with other certifications. So more or less the only source you now have at the moment is the on-demand online course, and that's it, and a few articles that are linked. But of course, there's a lot more material you can utilize, and you will get a curated resource list from us, which sources you should utilize for exam preparation. And that courses, that program we will set up, features also coaching for you to exam success. So you will get regularly coaching sessions in addition to the training. That's important, and that's different to most other programs we know. So just to be clear, this is not about creating artificial urgency or something. It's just the limited seats are intentional to keep the learning environment constructive, interactive, and high quality. Frank will inform you in a second about concrete dates, but of course there will future courses also. And yeah, therefore the seats are limited. To reserve your early bird offer, you simply can scan the QR code I will show in a moment, or just reach out to Frank or myself directly on LinkedIn, send us a quick message, and we will put you on the list. That way you will be among the first to get access to the pre-sale and to the benefits I just mentioned. So before we come to your questions, let me share some info from Frank regarding the upcoming trainings. Just a second, I just need to change the slides. So here we go. Stage is yours, Frank.
Yeah, thank you very much, Markus. And I will not lose many time. I will not lose many time here with the information. But actually, we talked about that we will start the first the pilot master classes actually in the next weeks, end of October, November, and December. And of course, we have some offers with you as a trainer. So maybe you can go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Because there are also some questions from the audience, but I will also say something. We have two trainings as live online classroom trainings. What we planned here, there are 4 days. Instructor-led training in virtual. We have an English training at the end of October, and we have an training in German language at November 25 to 28. And we have a really special event at Saarbrücken here in Southwest Germany as a live instructor training, what we offer from December 16 to 19. And it includes also visiting with us at the Christmas market and some other really interesting specials. For every registration, you will save 20%. The thing is that we are waiting from PMI on the last prizes for the instructor-led student kits. So I I think I can share this information in the next days or maybe in the next 1 or 2 weeks for everyone who will register, or also only to put on the waiting list. The registration is unbinding, of course, before we have not made it formal, so you can register now without any
Applications.
Applications, and then we would be happy to welcome you in our first master classes. And actually, I am also in some structure material review teams for the content, so I can also say later something about the rework and new update of the training material. Yeah, so Markus, that was it for the trainings we offer. But we have also joined the masterclass. We know here in Germany we have about 25 certified CPMAIs. So you know what is the demand on the market for AI certified project managers, and I'm quite sure that we will await a wave in the next weeks and months for the CPMAI certification, and especially if it will get updated in the next weeks. PMI is talking that we are waiting for the mid or end of the mid of October, maybe for the new training material. And that's why we are planning now with Markus as instructor. And Markus is not only CPMAI certified, Markus is also certified from the American Institute of Artificial Intelligence as a certified professional. And that we are really happy to offer this with Markus together.
Next slide. Not to forget the PDUA claim code.
The claim code for you, what every PMI guy expect from every session. Here you have the claim code for this session, for this webinar. Normally, we will send it also after the webinar. We will send you also the slides and actually then also this claim code. Yeah, that was a short intro from my side about our offers, what we have. You can send it also by email to my personal email address. You can send it by direct message to Markus or also to me over via LinkedIn. But I think it's more interesting for you that we discuss some questions, what you asked us here in the chat room.
Exactly. So let me just take over for a second. Now we have entered the AMA or Q&A session, however you want it. So that was it from me. Now it's your turn. If not already done, I warmly encourage you to share any questions you might have, whether about practical application, governance, methodology, the exam itself.
I have already some questions, and I tried to answer some of these questions. Let's start with Eugene DeWee, and he is asking, how is CPMAI evolving to support emerging areas like generative AI or agentic AI systems?
Okay, just a second. I will just put up our QR codes here so you can scan and connect if not done already. And now we can dive into the questions. So can you just repeat once the question for me, Frank? Sorry.
Yeah, of course, Markus. Eugene is asking us, how is CPMAI evolving to support emerging areas like generative AI or agentic AI systems? It's clear?
Just a second. I have
how is CPMAI support emerging areas?
Yeah.
Like generative AI or agentic AI systems?
Well, of course, very good question. I would say CPMAI is a general approach for any kind of AI and big data projects and initiatives. So I think your question targets the dynamic in that area, right? Because when you follow those topics and registered with a few newsletters like myself about AI topics, you literally get news every day and developments every day, and it feels like somebody releases a new model every week or so. So of course the material, and that is exactly what PMI just has done the last few weeks or months or so. I was not involved in that development, but I know they have get the course they have bought from Cognilytica and developed that further and actualized it and adopted the content to the let's say new reality. But of course you cannot change that material every week or so. So it's created in a manner that it is valid in general for the characteristics of those kind of projects. But I would also expect, to be honest, that the updates and the update intervals for that training need to be shorter than it has been in
more
past.
frequently, more frequently.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm also, as I know, you will not learn how to configure maybe AI agents, for example. Yeah, that's not in the contained in the training. It's the application of the CPMAI framework. Yeah, what is really fitting the project management approach to manage AI projects, independent the content and the topic of the AI project.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I hope it was answered. For success. Here's also asked about the content, and you also explained it in some of your answer in some sentences that actually the content is a complete rework. And I saw it, and I know there are a lot of experts are working on it. And you can, in the next release, what will first come with the instructor-led trainings and the student kits, you will get the latest updates, really the state of the art of the content.
Yeah, exactly. And let me just add a little bit on that. I know exactly what this person who put that in here in the comments was talking about, because I also have seen the, let's say, old material, the original course which have bought by PMI from Cognilytica, and
learning.
The e-learning, exactly. And I would agree to a certain degree with this critics about this content in terms of quality, yeah, and also the visual quality mostly, I would say, because it has looked very legacy and old-fashioned, to be honest. And in that trainings, let's face it, we all are visual people, and that is also important that the material is provided in a nice manner and in a nice fashion. And I had a look, was able to have a look on the new material, and I would say PMI has done a great job that time to adopt the material and actualize it and redesign it. And I think you can. The question here was, do you think CPMAI is still valuable certification to pursue despite those concerns? And I would say absolutely, without hesitation, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Michael Boyle is asking, could you provide how would use AI to perform a typical PM task, like an analogous scheduling estimate or a project traceability matrix, top down and bottom up? Markus, that we applied in our workshops already with with some customers.
First, let me say I'm really glad and excited, Michael, to have you on the webinar today. I know Michael for quite a time, and he's a great guy, by the way. So if you're not connected to him, I can highly recommend that. And yeah, Michael, thanks for the question. Like Frank just said, that was what we have done in our workshop in the summer with that large telecommunication company. And that workshop was about the application, the utilization of AI tools and methods for project management. So how to use, for instance, ChatGPT to create a schedule, or to create a stakeholder list, or to create a risk register. We had several use cases in that workshop. And by the way, just to do a little bit promotion at that point, this workshop can also be booked by about Vision Education for your organization, and will be highly customized and adapted to your needs. But that's just another topic. So, well, thank you very much for that question, because that gives me the opportunity to explain that a lot of people I'm talking to do interchange these both general topics. So the application and use of AI in project, program, and portfolio management is one part of the story, is one side of the coin. And the management of AI projects and programs and portfolios is the other side of the coin. And that is what we speak about today with the CPMAI approach. To answer anyway your question to a certain degree is, I would say, important here is to have for your project managers, for your project management team, the needed degree of AI literacy, and the right skill level, or the right skills in prompt engineering or prompt design, because the results out of those tools like Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, we haven't named that one yet, depends heavily on the quality of the input of your prompts and on the given context. But it's definitely possible to utilize those tools in a way that you really can benefit from it and get a lot of time saving. So you can really work much more efficiently utilizing those tools for that usual project management task. But it depends, and that is what, at least for Germany, I can say that many organizations haven't realized yet, that you need to train your staff. And I'm not saying that because we have a training company here present, but it's just fact. You need to train your staff. They need to gain that AI literacy and that competence in prompting, because otherwise, what many organizations in Germany has done is, most of them are related to Microsoft in some way. They use Microsoft infrastructure, Microsoft applications. So, of course, they say, let's roll out Microsoft Copilot because we use that anyway, and provide them to our employees, and then everything will get better. And many of organizations I have seen have exactly done that. They bought the licenses and rolled out Microsoft Copilot, but didn't give the users, the employees, any education about it, any training. The maximum what I have seen is, here is an online course or video you can watch. Please do so, and then go ahead and just use it how you like it. And it doesn't work that way around, for sure. Having that is that I would say the next level of supporting project managers and PMOs by AI is AI agents or agentic AI, right? But that's, again, it doesn't help or it doesn't work to throw AI in what kind ever on existing processes and hope for the best. That it doesn't work that way around. You really need to, I would say, to reassess your processes and maybe even redesign it in the context of AI to get the most valuable out of it. And that is something that most organizations haven't still realized yet. But that's the way it will work.
We are talking about 90% of the organizations, 90% of the companies, especially here in Germany, they have not trained all the stuff what is using actually LLMs and are using AI, Copilot, Gemini, or ChatGPT in their daily work. And actually, we have it since the beginning of August. It's by European law that they must train everyone who is working with the AI interfaces, especially in customer projects. So we have a really, really hard regulated law, what is controlled by the European Union, and then so also from the countries in the European Union. And the most of the organizations, they are not aware what that means. Actually, we got some requests from really large companies about basic trainings for using AI in the daily work. And if they are not trained, then they can get really in trouble. So, but actually, Markus, I saw we have Ratna here in our audience, Ratna Lori. You know her, I mean, and she is asking, does the course cover practical case studies or just theory? And maybe you can say something from the e-learning, and then we can say something about our instructor-led practice training.
Yes, of course. And hi, Ratna. Very pleased that you also have joined us today. To answer the question in general is, yeah, there are real practical case studies, real life case studies also in the online training, but even better in the instructor-led training. So why is that? The online training has been conducted some time ago, and they have utilized a few real-life use cases, which they use throughout the course as in terms of having a red line, so to say. And that works quite well. But those use cases, as you can imagine, are already a little bit old. So, and that's of course a big advantage for the instructor-led training, because we will be able to adapt really actual real-life use cases, maybe even new ones for each course. Yeah, because I can imagine the use cases we will utilize for our first master classes in October or November will be different ones than we will utilize somewhere next year, because there will be new ones. But we definitely will do so, and we can even try. That is, you need to understand, it's also something new for us right now, right? But I could imagine that we even when we know who is in the course and in which industry those participants do work, that we really can pick use cases out of those industries, yeah, to make it even more practical for the participants. Okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes left.
Yeah. Just a quick look. There was one question about the cost here. Frank, can you say something about this?
Yeah, we can I explained it before that actually we cannot say actually today about the costs because we have not the official price from PMI side. If you're interested, send me a direct message and I will directly send you the prices for the instructor-led trainings, either for the virtual and also for the special event training in person in Southwest Germany. Then in the next days.
Perfect. I would like to pick this one here because that's really a good one. Thank you, Srinivas, for the question. Could you advise and recommend any one use case for AI agent for project management? And yes, I can imagine that we have AI agents for more or less any task in project management. If we think in the processes, yeah, let's take the process guide and the PMBOK guide from PMI in mind, and all of you who knows those documents know the process framework, which is documented in the process guide with the 49 project management processes. And I can imagine having AI agents in future for more or less any of those processes. If there will be one agent covering all of them, or if there will be one agent per process, or however, that will show the future. What I can tell you is, and anyone who is interested in that in specific can please reach out to me via LinkedIn. I am, and that Frank doesn't even know that because we haven't talked about this yet. I'm cooperating with software development company, which is currently at this point developing exactly that, a project management AI agent as a demo, of course, to be able to show it to you and to potential customers. But that is exactly what we are doing right now. And I have talked about this in another presentation I did for PMI a few weeks ago, where I said I'm really convinced that the future is having a project management team existing, of course, some experts and humans, but also a bunch of AI agents. And it will be a challenge for future leaders to exactly manage this situation, having a team existing from humans and AI and collaborating and to orchestrate that. I hope that answered the question. Okay, managing hybrids if you don't have domain knowledge. That's more a comment than a question, but yeah, I would say this is true in general for any kind of project. Of course, it always helps to have some domain knowledge, regardless in which industry or branch you are doing the project. And by the way, that is also something that CPMI teaches you, not to become a technical expert or do programming, like I said before, but to gain some specific AI knowledge. So which AI algorithms like key main clustering or key nearest neighbor or stuff like that I haven't heard before, to be honest, before I did the course. And after the course, you will know about those things in terms of being able to discuss with the experts, and that will help. But of course, yeah, you are right. Domain knowledge always helps a bit. Okay, here's someone entering the PDU code. It's not coming up. Maybe that needs a little time to take place. I'm not sure. Frank, anything from you about this?
Yeah, we have a question from Michael Boyle. The last question. Most of the participants are going out. The relationship between the OPAs, the organizational process assets, and AI. The organizational process assets and AI. What's the relationship? I think we are talking about the AI systems, the interfaces, the LLMs. What are also then organizational process assets? Yeah. What do you think, Marco?
I'm not 100% sure if I understand the question behind that. Because organizational process assets is really a wide general term. So what are you targeting about that?
Yeah, in my opinion, Michael is asking, actually, is everything around AI as the platforms, as the interfaces, is it more an organizational process asset? In my opinion, yes, of course. Yeah. You need processes. It makes no sense to implement AI if you have no processes in your organization, or maybe also automated processes.
Or maybe he had meant it in that way that the future AI agents for certain project management processes will become OPAs. That could also be. I'm not sure about that. That will show the future. So just a quick one to answer these questions by Wendy. I would say yes, you need to have this certificate before you can become an instructor. I think that's an easy one.
So we have 2 minutes past 5, and actually, Marcus, time is over. It was really 1 hour, but it's flew away the whole time. Maybe some last words from your side.
Yeah, so
I thank you, all the audience, all the participants.
I have to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time once again. It was really a pleasure for me to do that session with you, and I'm really glad that we had so many registrations and participants. I hope you gain some value and some new insights for yourself, and I can't wait to deliver the very first CPMAI masterclass for you end of October, and assure that you will be on board. Reach out on LinkedIn to discuss further, like I said, and thank you very much for the time. Thank you, Frank, for your participation and your support.
Yeah, little support from my side, but you made all the work. Thank you very much, Marcus. And let's connect. Send me your messages, your questions, and maybe we can also continue to discuss the one or the other topic. And stay tuned, what's coming really soon. More about the CPM AI journey here in Europe and all over the world. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.